We've done what I thought was impossible. We got cauliflowers to germinate, and now they need a semi-shaded space to grow in. Before we get into it, I'm Therese, this is Ringu, and these are our 4 babies. We're setting up a homestead in rural Mozambique. This is a season where we grow our homestead. We've been planting meadows, seed trays, and we've seen our first cucumber. This week we have a new challenge. We have to build a shade tunnel for our plants that cannot survive in this very hot Mozambican sun. But we immediately run into a challenge with materials. Welcome to our homestead. First order of business today is to check on these seedlings. Look at them. Aren't they just so gorgeous? Beautiful. We have some things, teeny tiny little rockets. It's been only 2 days and look how much they've grown. I really have to shake a leg with the shade tunnel now. Rungu is waiting for me to plan the tunnel and the list of materials before we can start building. So whilst most people in the Northern Hemisphere have greenhouses to keep heat in, we need to have a shade house instead because we need to keep the heat out. So I did some research and I found this design, which I really like, and I think it's going to be quite doable for us. We're going to build a tunnel that is 2 meters by 4 meters, and that is approximately 6.5 meters across over the arch. Obviously, we need to be able to walk into this tunnel and fit under the arch itself, but also we want to think about fitting a couple of beds in here as well as some of our other materials. So while I write my shopping list, I'm also going to be writing my own building notes. It's really important to remember that we have to build a little framework at the bottom with the ripash, which is a really thin coconut wood, and then secure our pipes into the ground. So we're going to actually put some pickets in the ground inside of this frame and then put the pipes over the picket and also down into the ground inside of the frame. And hopefully that's going to add to the structure. Tomorrow I go get the supplies. Okay, so we ran into our very first hurdle already, and that is the shade net. So we can't find a shade net that is both 6.5 meters across as well as 4 meters long. They only come in maximum 3 meters. They only come in maximum 3 meters. So now I have to sew 2 pieces of shade net together, and I don't even know how I was going to do that until Ringo was like, "Don't worry, I will make you a needle and you'll just sew it." And I was like, "Are you crazy?" But he did it. Look at it. It's amazing. Beautiful. Perfect. So I sewed the net together when it was really dark. I didn't film it, but it's all done now, and now we can start building. We also couldn't find pickets, so we just bought some irons and got them cut to size. And here are our ripash. Those are the coconut wood that we're going to use to build the frame. Of course, the jambu is in season and everyone is eating. Okay, here's the pipes. These are the 2 thin pipes. There's the net. Look at my jobs. Such a good job. So proud of myself. Hello. Hello. It's material inspection first. First inspecting all the materials, make sure everything is the right quality stuff. And then we're all going to be here eating before we can start our work. There's a Nami Mama. So we're measuring out our pipes 6.5 meters long each, and we're going to have 4 arches. So there's going to be an entrance and an exit if you want, and then 2 arches in the middle. is to measure out and construct the frame. And now we can put the pickets in on the corners to put in our first 2 arches. And of course, almost immediately we see that this arch is never going to arch. It's going to flop. It's going to flop like a pancake. But we decide that we're just going to continue. We're going to keep building the base and then add the other arch in. And later on, we'll figure out a way to keep them up straight. And here, ladies and gentlemen, ensues a very long conversation where Rungu and I weigh up our options. Do we twist it? Do we add something at the top? Do we add something on the sides? Do we put something horizontal? Do we put something vertical? How are we going to go about getting our arches to arch? And eventually we decided that the best option for us is to actually put in some really thick poles, not all the way up, but just part way up to help the pipe stand up, give it some more structure and stability. And since we don't have those materials today, we're just going to stop here and continue with other household duties, other homesteading duties, and get back to this next week. Remember that sunflower I showed you guys last week that Pastel planted? Well, it's now dead. It's now started drying, and so what we want to do is actually collect the seeds and replant some more of these flowers. So we did some research, we watched a YouTube video, and now we feel like we know what we're doing. So I'm going to teach you what we learned, which is that first you have to remove all these dried petals from all of the sunflowers. Then you'll notice that there's the yellowish sunflowery piece on the top. It's actually like a lot of little flowers. And you just have to very gently rub that off. So you just rub and rub and rub until it all starts coming off. And if your sunflower is actually dry, that comes off really easily. And you'll see that ours in the middle hasn't actually dried properly. So ours still has that little piece of flower on the inside, but we didn't know better, okay? Anyways, and then you can start peeling more on the outside, and eventually you'll be able to just very easily start rubbing those seeds out. And it looks really interesting. It reminds me of a honeycomb. You see what I mean?
Yes, I can see how
they're still babies. Sorry, sunflower. It was our first time. We didn't know. Okay, so Rungu's going to finish up that, and I'm going to start another job, which is seeds. Hi, Boo-Boo. We have been collecting seeds from food that we've been eating so that we can plant them, and Rungu has successfully planted some soursops here. You'll remember soursop from season 1. We made soursop sorbet. He's planted some trees, and they've grown. But we do collect like apple seeds, butternut seeds, whatever, and leave them out to dry, and then hope for the best. Because... Are you the seed thief? It's you who's the seed thief. Yeah, I take my seeds now. Thank you. Okay, so these seeds I feel are sufficiently dry, so I'm going to sort them now, and then I'm going to put them into envelopes and store them somewhere safe. And this is how we are finishing our cycle. I spoke about this last week, that I really wanted to have a closed loop system in our garden where we are planting and then obviously eating, but then sowing seeds and replanting those seeds. And that's what we're doing now. And that's it from us, folks. Let's have a look at some beautiful passion fruits. So happy growing up here. Oh, it's just glorious. It's such a wonderful time of the year on the homestead. Everything is looking really beautiful. Very happy animals, very happy plants. It's just a really good time here. Let's go see what's happening in other parts of the garden. Where is the one in your foot? Let's see if we can spot Pipoca. Peekaboo. I also really want to show you Rungu's meadow garden because the flowers are so cute. They look so good. These orangey peach-like fruits that you see lying on the floor are cashews. Yes, we are still harvesting cashews. There's Rungu with a well-deserved cashew harvest break. Thank you all for joining us this week. We can't wait to see you next Sunday where we hopefully win the fight against the tunnel.